Hi, I'm Peter Knight. I want to talk about the idea of practice. I mentioned in a previous video about the concept of one ball practice. In other words, if you were practicing with just one golf ball and that constituted your entire practice session, how much importance would you place on that shot? And it's obviously significant. What I want to talk about in this video is more about building variety into your practice. Because ultimately we practice because we want to perform better on the golf course. We want to hit better shots and shoot lower scores. It sounds really strange to have the idea of building variety into your practice because you think, surely if I automate a pattern, then it's going to stick. And that's what we see a lot of players, if they've played well, they want to keep practicing and doing the same thing all the time so that they can come back and repeat it. And of course, the next day, the magic's gone. What happened? So this idea of being able to repeat like a robot, we're not robots, we're humans. And we do have, with this fine motor skill sport of golf, quite a bit of variation. The best players in the world have small amounts of variation in their movement. And by variation I mean whether or not the club face is aimed at the targeted impact, whether or not the swing path is moving toward the targeted impact, whether the ball's been struck with the middle of the club face or somewhere else. We all have some variation. The best players have very small variation. Most of us have a much greater variation. And of course, as the skill level drops, the variation becomes bigger. It sounds counterintuitive, but hey, there's so many things about golf that are counterintuitive. But if you build more variety into your practice, you'll actually become better by exploring the boundaries of finding where you need to be, the middle of those. So for example, when you're practicing, change clubs regularly. You have to calibrate the change in feel from using one club to the next, from a wedge to a driver, from a fairway wood or a hybrid to a 7-iron. And constantly changing those forces you to recalibrate. Yes, it's tougher, but that's part of the training. Alter your target on a regular basis. Hit shots with different strengths, half swings, three-quarter swings, full swings. Hit different shape shots, draws, fades, highs and lows. Yes, you're going to find some of them a challenge, but that's also an insight into which shots you actually perform better with. And then you can use that understanding to take to the golf course. And so smart thinking is you play the shots that you are most successful with. And where possible, unless you have no choice, you avoid the shots that you find difficult. You just go back and practice them until you're comfortable with them. So build as much variety as you can into your practice. Accept the challenge of doing that because you'll find that that really helps with the transfer to the golf course. I'm sure that if you do that with all of your shots, then you're going to find a reflection of that in your performance and in lower scoring.